We started discussing the structures. Now today we'll continue with the same. So from the point where we left yesterday, uh, so I can see only 28 attendees now. Is there any other class happening parallelly along with me?
No, sir.
Okay. So people have to join still. This morning 8 o'clock class, I think most of the people have not yet woken up. Okay. Yeah. This is what we were discussing yesterday. Started with the introduction to structures, and you understood the difference between structures and arrays. So arrays, homogeneous data they store, and structures can be used for defining your own type in order to store the heterogeneous data, that is the data with dissimilar types, and grouping the data with dissimilar types. That is what you can do using these structures. And how to access the structured data, structure members, that is by using the dot operator. And then, is it possible to create a structure even without giving a name to it? Yes, it is possible. So the structure name what we give, it is optional. So even you can go for creating a structure without giving the name also. So that is what. And how to initialize the structure at the time of declaration. Basically when you are doing this type of initialization, it is one-to-one correspondence. So that means the value which you specify first inside the curly braces will be taken as will be assigned to the first member of the structure. And one more important thing that you got to remember is it possible to initialize the structure members inside the structure definition template? So it is not at all allowed. So you cannot initialize any of the structure members inside the structure definition template, not possible. And then you understood one example on how to do the initialization of the structure at the time of declaration, and then full initialization. And there is a provision or scope for doing the partial initialization also, but with few conditions or few restrictions. That restriction is that you can have only the uninitialized members of the structure at the end of the initialization list, that is, and all the uninitialized members of the structure, if it is of type integer or floating point number, then it will be by default initialized to 0, and if it is a character or string, by default it will be initialized to null character. And one example on that, this is what we understood, and accessing the structure member, and this was the question asked, and most of you wrote, I think. So this was the solution answer to that, creating a structure for the student with 3 members in it: name, roll number, marks, and all these things, and then reading the values to these members for a student and displaying the same. And then we were understanding how to copy. We understood this, how to copy one structure to the another structure. Is it possible to copy? Yes, it is possible, provided the variables are of same type, same structure. Then always you can go for assigning one variable to the another variable. And the other thing is, in case if you want to do the comparison, okay, you got to check whether student 1 is same as student 2, so it is not allowed. So direct variable name comparison is not allowed. So what you have to do is individually you got to do that, and that is what you understood here. So we are individually doing it. We are accessing every member of the structure, and then we are comparing. And this is string compare, which is basically used to compare two strings and check whether they are same or not. And one important thing what you got to remember here is string compare. When you're comparing the strings, if the strings which are being compared are same, are exactly identical, then the return value from strcmp is 0. It returns the well-known value 0. So that is the reason I'm comparing that with equal to 0. And then roll number I'm checking. If everything is same, then I say student 1 and 2 are same. So comparison for equality or any relational operator within the structure has to be done individually, and you cannot compare it just by using the structure names. And then this is what we were discussing yesterday. I think this is the point where we stopped yesterday. So this is important again. Now how the structure elements are stored. Okay, so they are stored continuously in memory. Okay, that means you have the memory allocated for the first member, and followed by that for the second member, and next for the third member. It goes like this. So but for efficient access of the members from the structure and faster access of the members from the structure, so the system uses the concept of word boundary. So what is this concept of word boundary is that whenever you are allocating memory for some data type, say for example I want to store an integer on a 16-bit machine, so the size of the integer is 2 bytes, so what the word boundary concept says is go for allocating the memory at an address which is multiple of 2, makes it very much faster to access. And similarly on a 32-bit machine, the size of the integer is 4 bytes, and I say I want to store an integer in the memory location. Now which memory location is good or appropriate to store such that it can be accessed much faster in future? Now I have to look for an address which is multiple of 4. So this is what is the word boundary concept. Now since the system uses this concept, so there is something called as slack bytes created when you are storing the structure. And this concept was explained with an example here. So this was the example which was taken. So this was the structure created, and it has character array of 8, and then ID, and then double salary. Okay, so these are the members of it. And so since it is a character array of size 8, so 8 bytes of memory is allocated here, and the size of the character is 1 byte, and it can go to any position, because every address is a multiple of what? 1. Okay, and then if we'll just look into this ID integer, okay, so if I assume, so here the 4 bytes are shown, so nothing but what it is, a 32-bit number or 4-byte number. It's a 32-bit machine, so 4 bytes of memory are allocated, and this 2008 address what you are seeing here is multiple of 4. So and it can occupy from here. And next, salary, it cannot go to this 2012 address, because 2012 address is not a multiple of 8, because size of double is 8 bytes, and 2012 unfortunately is not a multiple of 8. And 2013, if you just look into the next memory location, 2013 is also not a multiple of 8, and 14 is also not a multiple of 8. 2015 is also not a multiple of 8. So what about 2016? Yes, 2016 is a multiple of 8, and it goes to this location. The starting address of this double, it starts from here. So that is, so the starting address must be the multiple of the size of that particular data type. So then this way, so it allows you to access at much faster rate. Okay. Next, we'll move on to the next. I think you understood this. So there are now slack bytes created here. Okay. Now, what is the use of the slack bytes? There is no use as such. Okay. Only thing is we are not allocating here, because these bytes were not the multiple of 8. Since 2016 is the multiple of 8, so it has started allocating from here for the double data type. So doing this way, so the memory locations can be accessed much faster. So this is what is something called as memory alignment. So if memory is aligned like this, so you can access it much faster. So unaligned memory alignment, so access time will be more. Okay. So how structure elements are stored? when we declare a structure variable, each one of them may contain slack byte, and the values stored in such slack bytes are undefined. Okay. Due to this, even if the members of two variables are equal, the structure do not necessarily compare. Okay. Now, why? So, this point, because of this reason, because of the slack bytes, it is not possible to compare the two structures. So, two structure equality you cannot compare, or any relational things you cannot compare. Why? Because of this slack bytes. Because when you're copying, say I copy the same structure to the another variable, exact thing I'm copying, but so you cannot expect the slack bytes to be same, because the addresses will be different, and there, so some bytes may be multiple. So the bytes which were multiple in the first structure by 4 or by 8 may not be multiple by 4 or 8 in the another memory location. So exactly for this reason, it is not recommended to compare these structures. I hope you understood this point. Due to this, even if the members of two variables are equal, the structure do not necessarily compare. So you understood, right, this point? If you have any doubts, I can clarify on this. I hope I have conveyed the things to you, and you have understood it. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So hence you got to go for comparing it individual member wise. Even though two structures are exactly same, and if you are comparing them by using the structure variables directly, so because of this slack bytes, so it says they are different, and it will not allow also you to do this direct structure comparison. So the comparison has to be done on an individual member wise. Okay. Next, array of structures. So till now you understood the structures, and now array of structures. See, this is a structure, and inside this structure I have an array also. Okay, that is possible. You can do that. So the structure is a collection of related, elements of dissimilar data types, and when I say array, is a collection of similar elements of similar data type. Okay, so this is also possible. Even within the structure, you can have the arrays. Okay, next. So I want to keep a record of 100 students, and we have to make 100 structures variable, 100 structure variable like this. But this is not feasible. Say I want to store the record for 100 students like this. So st1, st2, dash 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 st100, like this you got to create, and this is a tedious process, and it is not at all feasible also. So 100, okay, to some extent you can manage. Now I want to manage the details of say 1000 students or 10,000 students. Is it possible for you to declare the variables like this? No, it is not at all possible. So then again you can have use array of structures to store the record of 100 students or even more. Okay, so you can have the arrays declared as variable to the structure as well. Okay. Okay, this is what we are doing here. See, one way to declare an array of structure is this. Now st100, if I say, what is this? So earlier if I used to write it as int st of 100, if I just write it as int st of 100, what does it mean? It is an array of integers. Okay. So now I am writing st of 100, what is the type of st? It is of type student, which is an user defined type. It is of type student, which is an user defined type, and this can go for storing the details of how many students? 100 students. Okay, this we say an array of structure. So this is one way of creating an array of structure. The other way is like this. So if I'm not doing it inside the structure here, now I can do it by using student st of 100. So you understood now how to make it as an array of structures. Next, now I want you to do this. Write a program that takes roll number, first name, f name is nothing but the first name, l name, last name of 5 students, and print the records in ascending order on the basis of the roll number. Okay. Now when you are doing this, I don't want you to declare 5 separate individual variables to the structure. Instead, I want to make it as an array of structures. So yeah, please do that. Do this. So what you can do is, I hope all of you are there in the group now, CSE 3C data structures group. So if it takes more time for you to write it in the chat box, you can also write it in a piece of paper, take the photo of the same and send it to my WhatsApp number. And I have my web WhatsApp opened on my laptop also. I can check it instantly. Yeah, are you people doing it? No response? Hello? So are you people connected and sleeping still? Hello? Yes, do it. So I was just joking, that's all. Hey, only 37 attendees. So the first time I think. So all these days, there used to be around 55 to 56 attendees, and today I don't know, because of 8 o'clock class, I think there are only 37 attendees. Okay. Just write, take a photo and in a paper and put it into the group, WhatsApp group. Or if you're good at typing and if you say, sir, we will put it in the chat box, no problem. Chat box also okay.
So can you show question once again?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Program that takes roll number, first name, last name of 5 students and prints the record in ascending order on the basis of the roll number. On the basis of the roll number, you got to print it. So roll number 1 details first, roll number 2 details next, like this. And when you are writing this program, make it as an array of structures. That's all. I'm watching this also. Chat box also, and at the same time I have my WhatsApp also opened, so you can post in anyone. No, you need not make it as a complete program. If you just write the structure declaration part and array declaration to it, so reading the values and printing them in the ascending order. So I think that is enough. Just try to convey the main important core logic of the program and the syntax you got to follow while writing the structure and again reading the same and printing the same in ascending order. So question once again I'll display here. I need at least a few responses. So meantime, if anybody have any doubts till this point, can discuss with me. Until I get few responses. So if you have any doubts till here, you can discuss with me. Because online classes, will not get sufficient time to discuss with your doubts, okay, or the queries what you have. So in case if you have anything, please do discuss with me now. Is there anyone posted the answer? So your response is necessary. So because your response shows whether you people are active at the other end or not. Otherwise it will become one-sided. So if you are actively responding, it shows you people are active at the other end, and I'll be happy. Hello? I don't know. I'm not getting any responses. Okay, one I think I can see something in the chat box now. And for me it is taking time to open the chat box. Okay, so I think network issues, because all classes are happening entire college, so we are facing little delay in the network. So let me go to the next thing. I hope all of you can see my screen. I think chat box 1 or 2 have posted, but I'm not able to open it right now. So I'll go to the next thing. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Because I'm not getting any response from you people. Sometimes, so I suspect myself whether my voice is reaching you people or not. Okay. Yeah. So I have this reading the values I'm doing here. Okay. For I is equal to 0. So I less than. I have not made it as a complete program. Okay. So I'm just showing what is required. I is equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, printf enter the roll number. See, I'm reading. So right now, what I have declared to the structure is an array. Okay. SFI dot roll number I'm reading, and then the name we are reading here, SFI dot first name, and then the last name we are reading here. Now all the array members are structure members are read here for all the 5 different students. And next, shorting. I told, so when you are displaying the information of all the 5 students, instead of displaying the data as it is, I told you to short it in ascending order. Okay. So this is what the logic we are following again. So the same logic, the bubble sort logic which was explained to you in the previous class. So we are following it and we are applying it on the roll number. Okay. So this is the outer for loop for the past number and the inner for loop for the number of comparisons. So yesterday this logic was taught to you people, and I told the outer for loop takes care of the past numbers and inner for loop takes care of the number of comparisons. Say if you have 5 elements, so the total number of comparisons required, passes required is 4. It is 1 lesser than the number of values. And how many comparisons you got to do in each pass? In the first pass you got to do 4 comparisons. For example, now 5 students are there, so in first pass you got to do 4 comparisons, in the next pass you got to do 3 comparisons, and in the next pass 2 comparisons. That is, on every pass the number of comparisons required decreases by 1. And this is the same bubble sort logic. Since I told arrange it in the ascending order, the condition what we are checking here is if the second number is lesser than the first number, then we are going for a swap. Okay, swapping this, and then yeah. So this is shorting, and finally you go for displaying. How to display? Again, make use of a for loop, and then you just print it. Okay, this. So only thing is I've not made it as a complete program. I've just shown you what is really required or important, and this is what I was expecting from you people also. Okay. Next, so I have one more question now. So I want you people to do this. Define a structure of employee having data members, this name, address, age and salary. Take the data for n employees in an array. So that means again you got to declare an array of structure and find the average salary. So I think you can do this. It is easy. Just try to do this. So note down this question. And there is another one. Now I'll give this as an assignment to Om. Okay, and I want you people to write a program for this and show it to me Monday class. So but this first one I want you to do it now itself. So the second one is write a program to read the name, address, salary of 5 employees using an array of structure, display the information of each employee in alphabetical order of their name. So this you take it as an assignment. Okay, this second question. So just try to do it and show me or submit me by Monday. Okay, before my class. So even you can post the answers what you have written in the WhatsApp group. So this one I wanted you people to complete it now itself. Yeah, complete it. So if you have noted down both of this, both the questions, I'll just change my screen. Noted? Noted the question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can take the photo also. If you're not good at writing fast, take the photo of the question. Okay. So now chat. Okay. So now I'm seeing the answers because my network is little low. I'm getting the responses I have received. Good. Okay, and one is written already. This one, struct student, first name, last name. Okay. 10, enter the number of students, and okay, all this is fine. But what about the next one, finding the average salary? So this is, I think, the answer for the previous one. Okay. So give the answer for first question. Yeah, can I have the answer? Please post a few responses for the first question. Second one, you take it as assignment. So you do it today, tomorrow, Monday you show me. Okay, keep writing. I'll just move to the next slide, and as soon as you finish, post it in the chat box. Next, array within the structure. Okay, so as I already told, you can have even the arrays within the structures also. So I have two arrays inside the structure right now. So character name of 20 and float marks of 6, and this is in again an array of structures. Okay. So we can use a single or multi-dimensional arrays of type int or float. So even now this is a single dimensional array. Similarly, you can have a multi-dimensional array also present inside the structure. Next, here the previous example, the member marks, if you just observe this, marks contain 6 elements, that is marks of 0, marks of 1 till marks of 5, indicating the marks obtained in 6 different subjects. So these elements can be accessed using the appropriate subscript. Say for example, I want to access the third subject marks of the 25th student, then I can access it by using s of 25 dot marks of 3. So refers to the marks obtained in the since the indexes are starting from 0, so even though I mention it as 3 here, it is the 4th subject and the 26th student. Okay, so to avoid these confusions, you can always have even the array subscript started from 1. So if you do that, then the confusions can be avoided. Right now it is the 26th student and the 4th subject, the marks you can access by writing like this. Okay. So next, so reading the values. So when you have arrays inside the structure defined, so like this. So enter information about the student. So you're reading all the information, name of the student, so which class he belongs, and then the section and input marks for 6 subjects. For all the 6 subjects you're reading. So these were not the array elements. So you are just reading and storing it into one member of the structure. But you have another member of the structure which is a marks array. So now for this you got to read for one student you got to read how many subjects? 6 subjects marks. Okay. So scanf s of I dot marks of j, you read it. This is how you read the elements of the elements for the array which is nested inside the structure. Okay. So for one student you have 6 different subjects marks. Okay. Now, so till now you understood how to make an array of structures, and is it possible to have a single or multi-dimensional arrays written inside the structure? Yes, it is possible. And then you also understood how to access how to read the values for the array which is defined inside the structure. Okay, and how to print the value of the arrays which is defined inside the structure. So next thing what we are going to look is it possible to have structure within another structure, or in other words you can call it as a nested structure. Yes, it is possible. The structure can be nested in another structure. Okay, so this is the example now, the personal record structure which is taken. So we have all these members. I have name, so day of birth, the month of birth, the year of birth, salary, and the variable declared to that is the person. Okay, so this is the structure which is defined. Now I'm simplifying this. See, I have name, I have day of birth, month of birth, and year of birth, salary, person, all these things defined in one single structure. Instead of this, I can go for dividing this into 2 structures and go nest one structure in the another. So I'm taking a separate struct with the name date. Okay, and what I'm doing here, so day of birth, month of birth, year of birth, I have only these members present inside the structure date. And next what I'm doing, so I'm creating another structure with the name personal record, and here the name and salary I have, and I'm nesting this structure, totally different structure, a separate structure with the name date. So this structure is nested inside the personal record. So so structures can be nested like this. Okay, you can have one structure and another structure, and it can be to any depth again. So this personal record again you can make it as a nested structure in another structure. Okay, and that structure again can be made as a nested structure in another structure. Okay, so nesting of structures is also possible. Okay, now in case of nested structure, how to access the members? Say for example, I want to access day of birth. So day of birth is not the member of the personal record structure, but it is the member of the structure date. Okay, and we have let me go to the previous slide. So we have the variable to this is not declared. Say for example the variable to this structure, here I am declaring struct date and I am giving the birthday. Variable to this structure date is birthday. Okay, now if I want to access this day of birth member of struct date, now what is that I have to do? First I have got to make use of this outer structure variable. So this outer structure variable is personal record, outer structure is personal record, and variable to that is person. So person dot and variable name of the inner structure birthday, and then dot I can just say day of birth, or if I want to access month of the birth I can put dot and month of the birth. If I want to access year of the birth, dot and year of the birth. Okay, so same thing we are doing here. So variable name of the outer structure and variable name of the inner structure, the nested one, and then member of it. This is how we access it. And in case if this person is nested in another structure, then I can give the variable name of that structure here, dot operator, person. So same thing. Okay, like this. And if you want to access the variables which are directly nested inside the structure, then it is already, because you have learned this in the yesterday's class. So person dot its member name, that's all. So this is how you can nest one structure in another and access the members, nested structure members. So, and again example on that. So name, since the name is directly inside the personal record structure, I can directly access it by using person.name. And then enter the day of the birthday. So now for this is a nested one. Okay, so this is present inside the nested structure, and whose structure variable is birthday, and this structure is again nested inside the structure personal record, whose variable is person. This is how you access it, and similarly month of birth and year of birth, and finally the salary. Salary again it is directly nested inside the outer structure personal record, so you don't have to use the birthday variable for it. So this is the example on it, how to nest a structure inside another structure, how to access the members of the nested structure. Okay, so you are reading basically here. So similarly the access can also be done. If you want to read the values of those members and print it on the screen, so then you can do that also. Okay. So more than one type of structures can be nested. Okay. So it's not like, so you can nest only one structure at a time, so into a structure. So even you can go for nesting multiple structures simultaneously within a structure. Now the previous example, one second. Yeah, so you can see here I have the structure with the name date, another structure with the name, and now I have the personal record. So if you just look into this personal record structure, so I have two structures nested here. So I have struct date also and struct name also. So the depth of structure nesting can go to any level, but within a structure even you can go for nesting multiple structures also. So it can be more than one structure nested inside a single structure, that is also possible. So why we do this nesting? Just to simplify our job. See, if I keep writing everything in one structure, it doesn't look nice. So if you're doing this, writing multiple structures and nesting, so it is a kind of modular approach for program development. So this makes your program development job very easy, and also understand the program easily. Okay, now I have I already gave you one assignment. Okay, I hope all of you have copied that question. So now there I have one more. Create a structure named date that has day, month and year as its members. Include this structure as a member in another structure named employee, which has name, ID and salary as another member. Use this structure to read and display the employee name, ID, date of birth and salary. So this again, this question is based on what I explained till now. That is based on the concept of nesting the structure in another structure. So you can copy this also and just try to make it as a program. So try to, since you're this is given an assignment, so try to make it as an executable program. Okay, and I want you to share this to me either through the WhatsApp group or even you can post it in the MS Teams also, so I can have a look and interact with you people regarding this in my next class. So copy this also. I'll see whether there are any responses for the question which I gave. Just copy this or take a snap, or you can do even the print screen also from your laptop or desktop. Have you done? Yeah, I have new messages. Okay, a few are saying, sir, I have sent it through WhatsApp. Yeah, that is also fine. Okay. Okay, average salary program is here. Name, address, salary. Okay, reading. So reading the number of employees, entering the details of the employee, name of the employee, address, age. So reading salary, but so everywhere you have taken it as percentage C. So salary while reading the format specifier you have gone wrong. Okay, percentage C, and age also you have taken it as percentage C character. So this needs to be changed, and for I is equal to 0. Okay, you're summing the salary. Okay, average you're doing. Yeah, all this is fine except the format specifier. So format specifier is wrong. Format specifier for age in print it is correct, but while reading you have given the format specifier for reading the salary and age as percentage D, which is not correct. Okay, one in the WhatsApp group. Character name, age, address, salary. Okay, so enter the details of the employees. Reading percentages D, percentages D. Okay, sum plus is equal to S of I dot salary, average. Okay, yeah, I know that it is by mistake because you are done, I think, copy paste, and so average. Okay, fine. Yeah, I'm getting the good response and even the correct programs also, except a few things which happens by oversight. Okay. Okay, I hope you have copied this question also. So Monday, by Monday, you try to complete these things and um share it either in the MS Teams or you can put it in the WhatsApp group also. I'll have a look. So next is pointer to structure. So this topic is very important because the entire data structure which we'll be studying will use this pointers and structures. So pointer to structure is very important, and this is one point which I had already mentioned with you. So when you're accessing, see, so this is not a variable now. So this is a pointer which is declared to this structure right now. So struct book, instead of making it as a variable, I have just made it as a pointer. Now how do I access the structure member using a pointer? By using the arrow operator. This is what I was mentioning. So hyphen and the greater than symbol is the arrow operator. Using this arrow operator, you can go for accessing the structure members. So you can do it this way. So there's another way also. Say I don't want to use the arrow operator, sir. I just want to stick on to the dot operator. Then you should be doing it like this. Okay. So there are two ways of doing it. Okay. So I think so. This let me continue in the next class, because you have some important things here. The dynamic memory allocation concepts like malloc, alloc, and all these things. So all these things will be widely using, and so some point we will go for statically allocating the memories using these arrays, and majority of the time we allocate memory dynamically using the dynamic memory allocation functions. So malloc, alloc, and all these things. So let me stop at this point, and please make sure that you complete those two assignment questions which was given, and you post the answers in either in the MS Teams or in the WhatsApp group. Anything is fine. Okay. I'll download the attendance list. So meantime, if you have any queries, you can ask me. Yeah, I think it is downloaded. I have downloaded it multiple times. Okay. Yeah, you have anything to ask? Any queries? Okay. So if no queries, you can leave this meeting and join the next class. Thank you.